Hello, dear friends, partners, and distinguished guests. My name is Tal Schneider. I'm a political and diplomatic correspondent. Welcome to the Society for International Development Annual Conference in the memory of the late Dr. Yehuda Paz, the founder of SID Israel, mentor and professional authority for many who are engaged in international development and humanitarian aid. We are delighted to have with us some very esteemed guests from all over the world. This is a great opportunity to mention that all of SID Israel work is made possible thanks to the ongoing generous support of Pearce Foundation, and we are thrilled to greet the chairman, Sir Trevor Pearce, who is joining us here from London. Since we have a tight schedule, with many very interesting guests from around the world, I would like to welcome Mr. Alon Ber, Director of SID Israel, for the opening remarks.
Good afternoon from Tel Aviv. Good morning to those joining us from the United States and Latin America. Good afternoon to our guests from West Africa and Cairo. And good evening to our distinguished guest from Nepal. I am delighted to open the annual conference of the Society for International Development, SID Israel, for the first time, and I hope also the last time, in an online format. For those meeting us for the first time, allow me to share with you who we are. SID Israel is an umbrella organization encompassing over 150 civil society organizations, government agencies, private companies, and academic programs. All are involved in the field of humanitarian aid and international development. Our mission is to promote and encourage positive, responsible Israeli action in the developing world, actions that address global challenges and are carried out in collaboration with local partners. To say that the past year has been complicated would be an understatement. The world we knew has completely changed, and what we took as for granted a year ago has disappeared. Often when I'm asked what is international development, I answer that it is basically everything. There is almost no area in our lives that is not connected to the world of development. We always explain how important it is to provide holistic solution to global challenges. Broad approach, this is perhaps the main things that has vanished from our life in the past year. Large part of the world operating from a narrow perspective, dealing almost exclusively with one issue, the COVID-19 pandemic. The fact that the world is operating this way has pushed aside painful and significant issues such as hunger, medical research not related to COVID-19, public health issues, problem with access to clean water, and other crises. An additional 130 million people will fall into chronic hunger by the end of 2020, according to the United Nations. Studies published in important scientific journals estimate more deaths from malaria, and 73 countries have warned that their stock of antiviral HIV medication has been greatly reduced due to the pandemic, even to the point of running out. In addition to these reports, the world is facing and will face a global economic crisis. And we know that it will first and foremost hit the weakest and most vulnerable places, widening the gaps and intensifying the challenges. The global atmosphere, which did not spare Israel, is an enormous challenge for us and for everyone involved in international development. It has become even more complex and difficult to explain the importance of taking action in the developing world and addressing global challenges. But there is also a good news. After more than 2 years, recently, the Israeli government published for the first time a strategic plan for international development. The plan, which is the most comprehensive document ever presented by the Israeli government on this subject, corresponds with a strategic process we began 3 years ago, a process that eventually led to a government decision to consolidate this plan. So while it is true that there is a big difference between making plans, implementing them, and there is still a long way to go, the fact that even in this challenging time, Israel is taking such a step is encouraging. This is the perfect opportunity to thank those who have worked on non-stop on this program over the last few years, Ron Eifer and Anat Carmel from the Prime Minister Office. Because time is short, our schedule today is full, I would like to thank our partners in this conference, from the Ministry of Finance, Chief Economist Shira Greenberg and Eyal Meidan, our friends from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the new head of Mashav, Einat Schlein, and Shuli, and from the Foreign Trade Administration, Oad Cohen and Noah Partuk, to Dr. Bruria Adini from the Tel Aviv University. A big thanks to those who are hosting us today, Janet at the Herzog Folks Neeman office. Thanks to Yovav Gavish from the World Bank and to the SEED team, Dana and Maria. And finally, to the Pierce Foundation, to Sir Trevor Pierce and Dina Gidron for ongoing partnerships and support. I'm wishing us all an interesting afternoon. Thank you.